Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast.
Your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
Let's talk about it. I gotta admit, mother and daughter are always greater when they're together. Everything's better. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo.
Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You're wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that?
Do you experience issues or any sleep disorders? What about PMS? Any chronic joint pain relief needed? Or migraine relief needed? Well, don't panic, it's organic, baby! Certified Hip Hut is a natural path to good health. Stop by and let us cook you a great meal in-house or to go. Also, please keep in mind, when you visit Certified Hip Hut's location and make an in-house purchase, you will receive a variety of samples to try out. Everyone loves samples, I know I do. Come check us out at our location. We're at 3422 Farm to Market 2920, and that's in Spring, Texas 77388. Have you been looking for the right bags and accessories to go with your perfect summer or fall outfits like me? Visit the Brigati Collections website. You won't be disappointed. The Brigati Collection not only carries vegan leather, but they also carry 100% genuine leather as well. All leather goods to include vegan are limited edition, meaning limited quantity of styles and colors to produce, which are about less than 50, so it will be first come, first serve. The website is www.burgatticollection.com. That's B as in boy, ORGOTTI collection.com. There are over 75 products to choose from, so go ahead and head on over to their website and please make sure you take advantage of your chance to sign up and win a gift. I personally came across a few sunglasses and crossbodies I'm going to have to cop soon, so I hope you do the same and notice that there's free shipping always. And we didn't forget about you fellas either now. Make sure you check out their unisex aviators and bags as well.
We got a delicious conversation coming.
Yes, we do. Food.
Food. I mean, we've been having so many conversations about food lately today. It's kind of crazy though, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like every day. So I'm really going to need to apologize first if I get too excited. Because, you know, over here with this juicy mouth thinking about good old food. And during this conversation, I'm going to have to just ask the Holy Spirit to control me right now. Because I know we can talk about food and I literally will visualize it. And then all of a sudden I have to cook it that next day or figure out how I can go get it, right?
Right. She ain't lying.
I mean, and I like all kinds of food. I'm not one of those people that's like, well, I only eat. No, I will try anything that's visually good looking to me. Now, I have been to countries where I didn't know what the food was, so I didn't try it, or I'll smell it and maybe it was an animal that I would not normally want to eat, or something that was considered to Americans as a rodent or something like that, so I did not eat those type of foods. But I do know that a lot of those rodents and different things are what other people in other countries eat, and I say there's nothing wrong with that. That's their business, and I'm gonna mind my business. And I see nothing wrong with it because that is their culture. That's what they grew up with. We don't know what we're talking about when we start talking about something is nasty, because that's somebody's taste buds, right?
Yeah.
I used to tell your sister all the time when we try different restaurants, I say, girl, you need to open up your palate. And she's like, what does that mean? But then after we started trying stuff, she's like, see, mama, I'm opening up my palate. I'm like, oh, now you know what that word means. When did you know that you just decided I need to venture out and not just eat the foods I'm normally used to eating? Like, what was that point for you? Because some people are just not open.
It was last year for me when I moved back out here. I tried squid.
Girl, you act like you was in Tanzania.
It felt like it. It felt like I feel like I'm rediscovering Houston because
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
and plus there's more stuff that they've built out here. But
You can fool around like your friend come here and get your husband in 3 weeks since you knew again.
it's what I had. It was octopus. I've had oysters. I've had African food now.
Uh-huh.
Um,
We're gonna talk a little bit about that.
yeah, it
'Cause
was pretty good.
I like all types of food, and I love meeting people from different cultures because they talk to me about their food and how they prepare. That's probably the most exciting conversation, is when you actually listen to somebody say how they prepare something, because you start writing down all of the type of spices they're talking about, and then you can try them out, and if you don't like them, you can move on. I know one thing I like about Sprouts. When I go in there, they have a whole section where you can buy like a little small plastic bag of any kind of ingredient. You can just get a taster, and it might cost you 2 pennies, but you could get like a little taster of something, and then you could taste it and see if it's something you want to buy. Then you go back, or you can say, okay, I like the way this tastes, I purchased it, now I'm going to go back and get a whole plastic bag full of that particular, and they have a lot of different
That's the
kinds
only
of
way
stuff.
you'll know if you'll like it.
That's
though.
the only way you're
Yeah.
going to know, because right now I'm on a hunt for something that I want to do, because I've learned how to cube cut up my salmon fish. And what I'm looking for is some seasoning called Sazon. Sazon. I have been
I've seen
to
people.
5 grocery stores, and I don't want to order it offline. I literally want to walk in the store. I want to put my hand on it. I want to touch it. I want us to have like a little seasoning affair right in the middle of the aisle of the grocery store. That's how I am. That's how I am. But I've been looking for some Sazon. Have you seen it?
I have on these cooking shows that I watch, or like on
I
YouTube.
have not found anybody in person and live human that has told me that they've used it. I saw this guy cooking with it on Instagram, and I DM'd him to ask him where he got it. He didn't respond, but I don't know what city he was from either, but he didn't respond. So, probably because we're not friends on Instagram, he wouldn't have responded. This was on a reel that I saw. But anyway, I was so excited because it looked like it did something extra too. Because certain seasons, you can cook with, and it'll turn the food a different kind of color. Like if you use Old Bay, it makes everything kind of red. If you use some of the other season, it just changes the color texture of the food. So I'm looking for some Sazon seasoning. So listen, in the comments, if you know what grocery store I can get it from, I don't want to order it online. I want to go to the store and touch it. Let me know, because I have been to Kroger's, I've been to Fiesta, I've been to H-E-B, I've been to Sprouts, I've been to the Walmart grocery store and the Super Walmart and the Target. No Sazon. But I like discussing food again. I love talking about the preparation of food. I always said if I had a cooking show, I'm not going to tell you what I would name it, but I think that through this podcast and through this YouTube show, we're going to end up doing something like that down the road, because I've already got a name for it, and it's already very exciting to be able to do it. So if you had to say, what would be your favorite food that you've tasted from a different culture than your normal, just from up to this date? I know you're going to try a lot of other stuff, but
I'd
just
have
up
to say
date.
the African food.
I'm so
The
surprised
market
you
that
said
I found, I tried fufu for the first time.
I am surprised you said that, because you used to love Mexican food, girl.
Well, I mean, that's my number one, but like that's something. This African food is something new that I've had that I've liked recently. It's fufu with the meat stuff that it's called is called igosi.
You scared me when you said it turned your nails yellow, and I was like,
Well, it was like the turmeric in it.
Yeah, but I said I'd be darned if I go pay $75 to $100 on some nails and they get
I
turned.
mean, you wash your hands a couple times out
No,
that
I'm just
day.
gonna use some gloves.
Yeah, you could like when you eat crawfish. I don't like
Yeah.
to use my bare hands.
Yeah.
But
What was it called? Ego people?
Igosi,
Ego.
and it's goat milk. I mean, because I'm thinking about milk because it was spicy. I had to drink some milk.
Oh, it was spicy?
Yeah, it's actually goat meat, but
Oh.
it looks just like oxtails and tastes like oxtails, but it didn't mess my stomach personally
which part
up.
of the goat is it?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But for that whole meal it was $20. I'd have to split that with somebody else though, because it's really too much food.
Oh, it's a
and
lot
I
of
don't want
food.
to eat it leftover.
So even the sauce, they gave you a whole lot of it?
The stuff that you dip the fufu in,
Yeah.
it's like it's a lot of sauce. It's like marinara, and it come with little fish pieces. I didn't like actual little sardine looking fish. I don't know.
Now, I haven't had fufu probably in about 25 years. Can you remind me of what that texture is like? Like as soon as it hit your tongue, did it dance? Did it sit? Did
It's
it
just like
melt? Like,
overcooked, soggy. I don't know, but they say it's made out of a yam. It smells just like a potato.
but it's white.
Yeah.
What kind of yam?
It's probably more on the potato side than the actual, 'cause
they
when you
have-
think yam, you think of like the orange looking brownish.
Did you watch that movie I told you about on Netflix? It was called Deep Fried Something, and he starts in the motherland telling us what a yam and a sweet potato and all this look like. So when you just said yam, I'm like, you know what, it ain't the color.
But when
we
you
see.
smell it, you can smell like a potato type smell.
Did it have a potato texture though?
It kind of did. It was like
Okay,
it was kind of
okay.
like an overcooked, soggy potato. But
And you take it and you
You have
break
to,
it
like-
apart and dip it.
yeah, you have to like pull it apart, and you have to mash your hand to make it flat, so you can like scoop your meat in it or whatever.
And what's the dripping situation like? Because this sounds like I need a
It's not
bib.
too much. I
Okay.
mean, I probably would need one regardless, but it's it's not bad. It wasn't too messy or nothing. It was really spicy though.
Now, you
had
said
to-
the meat tasted like oxtails, but it was also the texture of it. Because I don't eat
Yeah.
oxtails, but that's your grandma's favorite.
It was like oxtails, like I don't know. It was kind of like a pulled pork type situation, but it was good.
Like a stew type of mix.
Kind of.
Okay,
like
so
I have,
we talking gravy and everything.
yeah, we'll have to.
So it was
upload
the
picture.
meat, the fufu, all the gravy situation. What else? Vegetables and stuff like that in there.
So like it's the fufu on the side, and then you get like a black bowl. Inside the black bowl, you get like pieces of the goat meat, and then it has like some type of marinara sauce with like turmeric, and it's like a bunch of stuff mixed together that you're gonna mix the fufu in. So you get the fufu, you flatten it out, you put a piece of your goat meat on top, and then scoop whatever's that mixture in the bowl. They call gosi. It's pretty good. It's very different, but it wasn't like bad at all. That's like my first time when I tried liver. My friend's mom, she cooked it, and it looked and smelled just like pork chops, like fried pork chops. But it's like I didn't like it. It was real gritty when I bit into
Was
it.
it tough too though, right?
It wasn't tough. It was.
Oh.
It was. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very gritty. I couldn't even swallow it. I
You
felt like I
prefer
was on
to,
fear
do you
factor.
prefer to eat with utensils or your hand?
I'm a utensils type of person, so when I had the African food, I was like, I don't do this, but
like
I had to
eating with my
experience
hand.
it.
I like eating with my hand. I mean,
I
you
do
put,
too now, I
You
guess.
put something in front of me that does not need a fork or a spoon or a knife, and I get real excited. I think, because me, I do want to touch my food. I want to be able to just eat it, and that's why it's best for me to eat at home. Because in public.
Every meal.
So they use a lot of curry at her house.
For the majority of the time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly like what I experienced.
Now, what's different about their food? Is it the seasoning, the spices, or did they have a certain kind of meat that they're like? Because you said in that meal you had was goat meat. What kind of meats do they eat? This
I
particular.
mean, well, we had a
family?
lot of curry chicken, so I didn't really get to expand out, but it was more like curry chicken, plantains.
I like.
I
plantain,
like
yeah.
plantains too.
Yeah.
That's mostly like what we.
Okay, I was just
Yeah,
wondering
what
because
you
I
did.
love cultures and different cuisines and just food period. But I love traditional food. I'm a little bit attached to the way Texas makes our food because this is where I'm from and this is what I'm used to. So I like combining different recipes. So like for instance, I like Tex-Mex.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go to Mexico and I eat Mexican food, it gives me heartburn because it's the real deal.
Oh yeah.
I like Italian foods made in Texas, but when I went to Italy, I did not enjoy the food at all. And I tried the spaghetti, I tried the
Was it
lasagna,
bland?
I tried the pizza, I tried everything. So what the guy told me over there is he said he understood exactly what I was saying because I was American, and he said the law in their country is that they don't allow any GMO foods over there. So you were getting the pure real deal. So my body was not adjusted to the real thing because I am from America where unfortunately we do allow GMO foods through the borders.
Yeah.
I do love Chinese food, and I've liked all kinds of ways that it's been cooked. I like, Vietnamese food, Japanese. I like those types of foods, but I will tell you that it was very interesting when I took your brother to Japan for his graduation. It was very different eating food over there. It was very interesting. And I'm glad that he was adventurous to want to try things in the authentic restaurants, because then it made me try those foods as well. Now, you know him, he was all caught up and could eat with the chopsticks and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas I was sitting there going, I'm gonna need a fork and a spoon and a knife, you know. But he was already hip to everything, because he absolutely loved the culture over there. You know, he always has since he was little.
Yeah.
But Japanese food was very, very, very interesting. Now, there were quite a few things on the menu that I just could not bring myself to eat. Like, for instance, we went to this real fancy restaurant, and they had the plate all fixed up real nice, but the meat on there was shaped like a phallus. And I just was like, no, I'm a child of God. I'm not going to do this, you know.
Yeah.
In the and it was a very nice restaurant at a very nice place, and I just was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna do this for the culture. I just can't. And your brother laughed so hard, because he was just like, you think I'm going to eat? He was like, no. But it was a very fancy, very nice restaurant. So, what about when you went on your European excursion? Was there anything that you tried that you were like, oh dang, we can't get this in Texas like this? Because you never talked about the food. You talked about the fun, the family you stayed with. Like, what did y'all eat?
I mean, I think if I didn't talk about it, then that means I wasn't disappointed, which is a good thing.
Okay.
Only thing I was disappointed in was the refill.
Wait a minute. Don't get her. You're going to get me.
But it was like a little kid cup. I mean, the cup probably wasn't even 3 inches long. And like maybe it was almost like a tall shot
So every
glass.
adult got that?
It was just, yeah.
Oh, that's
And then you can't get they don't have, you know, like they make us feel like we just greedy, like we just drink too much.
So did you ask for a refill?
Yeah, they looked at me like, I mean, I think I was the first person
This
to
is
actually
why.
like openly.
This is why Americans are.
I think I was the only person at the table that like openly asked, because you know people go out out of their comfort zone and don't ask. Cause I'll ask, but
And you said, "Can I get a refill?" And what they say?
they said they don't do that, and that you'd have to pay for another. Like if I wanted 2 refills, I'd have to pay the price of 2 more drinks. Versus, you know, when you come out here, they cut you off after the 3rd refill or something.
Oh, so
But
there is a cutoff in Texas. I didn't know
They
that.
told our aunt at Cheesecake Factory, they told her after like a certain amount of refills.
3.
Yeah.
Because the glasses are so big, it's almost like you're drinking for 4 people.
Yeah. But I mean their pizza.
But a 3-inch, that's nothing.
Their pizza was really good. We had Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, so you had American stuff over there, but
it
did
was
you
in
eat any of their
Amsterdam.
traditional stuff?
I can't
Like a
remember what I had. I had more
lasagna
like
or-
pastas, which was really good at the
Okay,
family's
so you
house
like
that
the
I stayed
cheese and
with.
stuff then, okay.
Yeah. And then the food at the school was good that we went to school with them in Germany.
Did y'all eat on any like food trucks or anything? Because I know we tried some pizza from one of the little setups, and it was good, but you could just tell it was so different. And what was different about it was the sauces that they used, and I just had to get used to. Okay, this is the real deal. You're not eating the real deal at home. It's all processed at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun and interesting to go to their markets.
Oh, what kind of stuff did you see in the market? Just
Their
good,
markets
fresh
look
stuff?
just like, it was crazy because it's like the ones you see on TV, like how European markets look like.
Mm-hmm.
But everything's so different. Their loaves come in like, you know, baguettes. Like most of the stuff is different, like the stuff that they eat for snacks and stuff. And
You
don't-
tried some new snacks and things. That's
yeah,
good.
stuff I can't understand or pronounce.
Right. But you know, sometimes you find those good snacks that you like, and you try to look for them, because I know when I went to Italy, I ate gelato every day, because the gelato homemade maker was right in front of our hotel. So I would get up every day after breakfast. I'd go get the gelato, and I had the mango every day. And she made her gelato fresh every day because she'd run out. And then I was in a restaurant getting ready to try some pizza with someone, and she asked for a tea, and they said, we don't make tea. And so we both said we wanted lemonade, and he said, what is this you're asking about? He was confused. And so I went on my phone and I showed him a picture I showed him a lemon and some water, and he was like, we have something. He said, I can help you. We have something called limonata, and it was basically like lemonade, what they call that, sparkling lemonade.
Carbonated water.
It was sparkling lemonade, but limonada. And now to this day, whenever I go into some kind of specialty store like a Costco or something, and they have that limonada, I pick it up, because let me tell you, it's so good. If you really like lemonade, it's really good. But food and culture is so interesting, and I just really encourage anyone who is really, really stuck in a traditional type of eating situation, that you go out and you try. And look, around Houston, we have so many different culture restaurants, but guess what? In other places, I'm willing to bet you have them too, because when I'm in Mexico, some of the foods that we like to eat is we like to eat tostadas.
Pupusas.
And I never can say that word because it's just I think I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I like to have the mole, and your sister, she loves the green sauce. It's too hot for me. It make me roll on the floor.
Tamales.
Cause yeah, tamale. Oh, homemade tamale will knock you out. And then the Mexican rice is really, really good. Now this one right here, I'm really, really attached to because in Texas we have a lot of people from Louisiana, and my mother is from Monroe, Louisiana, so I know Creole food really, really well. But when it comes to Creole food, I like mud bugs. You know what that is, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, those are crawfish. I call them mud bugs just to make people mad. I like crawfish etouffee. And do you like any type of Cajun food? Because I like etouffees and I like, Cajun jambalaya and things like that. But
jambalaya when it's done right, because I've been to places where they have jambalaya when it's like tomato sauce, and that's not jambalaya.
What was that your brother got that time
tomatoes.
that had the alligator meat in it?
That was at
Some kind of
Oceana's in
etouffee?
New Orleans. I can't
Oh my
remember.
God, you remember the name?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was. He had some pasta with like some alligator meat in
It
it.
had alligator meat. And it was kind of tough, but it was good. I tasted it just because, and now I don't know if I will ever do that again because it's just weird. But Cajun jambalaya, red beans and rice. You like red beans and
Oh,
rice?
yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
like yours homemade or from Popeyes?
Homemade.
Okay, because some people swear.
But if I have to
Popeyes-
settle, Popeyes is the only
Right.
closest. Yeah.
I do love to make a gumbo.
Mm-hmm.
And I make my gumbo clean. And what I mean by clean is every single item that goes in the gumbo is cooked separately.
Mm-hmm.
Once every single item is done and then the roux is finished making, pretty much the gumbo is done. So then, because the roux and everything is seasoned and ready to go, then I take all of my chopped up ingredients, all of my meat, whatever I'm going to put in it. So let's say I'm doing a seafood gumbo, all my shrimp, big shrimp and everything going in there, crab, whatever I'm putting in there. That way everything has been cleaned and cooked, and then everything goes together, and then I let it cook for a while just to marinate all of the seasoning inside of all of the vegetables.
That's how I
All of
cook
the
in
meat,
general.
everything.
Even when I
Mhm.
did the shrimp and grits, but that's how I cook in general. Cook
Yeah.
everything separate and then let it all come together.
But now, see, we have family from Louisiana, and we have, some families that was over in Opelousas, Louisiana, Plaisance. They real serious over there with the cooking. They put everything dirty and fix it. And what I mean by dirty is I don't mean disgusting. I mean like the raw chicken in the roux and let it cook all day long.
I'm too texture
The raw
sensitive for
shrimp that would go in there. All the vegetables are raw that would go in there. And here's what made me start paying attention to how people cook their food. One time we had a gumbo cooked and they had put a raccoon in it
What?
and had told people it was chicken. And I was so mad that they had put coon in it.
You ate it?
I tasted it and said something don't taste right. And everybody thought that was funny. I did not think, but that shell shocked me as a kid. So that's why I'm very picky now about the food that I eat, because I'm like, you're not finna get me with no snake and no raccoon.
You gonna put
and
raccoon to a
So they
snake?
would put raccoon in it. They would put armadillo, because armadillo's big in
That's
Texas.
country,
They would
though.
put armadillo
they
in
do.
it and squirrel.
Out there in Louisiana.
And you know how many squirrels I got in my front yard? You think I'm gonna mess with them squirrels?
Ain't no telling what they done got. I done
But-
watched Contagion too many times.
But it was still a good gumbo, though. I mean, I never seen anybody get sick or nothing. I'm just saying different cultures do different things. And look, if you can't go out and get no expensive chicken or no shrimp and crabs, and go out in the yard, just don't put no skunk in it. Ugh, that would be horrible, right?
Yes.
King crab and, over in New Orleans, every time we go, we have to go get some beignets, right?
Yes.
I
At that
mean,
mall.
remember that time we went and the first thing we said is we're going to go to get the beignets, and we went to the mall and got the beignets, and then we got the crushed ice and all that stuff. It was so good. And now we found one where we don't have to go to the mall, but it's on the next street over, and we can just go through the drive-thru and get them, and they cook them fresh
Where?
at the same place, but only they have,
Is
I
it
can't
the
think of
French
the name.
Quarter area?
No, it's over by the mall where we went to that big
Oh.
mall, but it's 2 streets over where they have where you can go through the driveway,
Oh, that's good.
which is really good because I like just going
like
through
when
and
they're
then watching them
warm.
cook it.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Powdered
then
sugar.
they ask you, do you want extra sugar powder on it?
Mm.
I never do because they always give you enough where there's a bottom bag
Too
full
much,
of it
yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
I like to
but-
bring back the boxes of the mix.
Yeah, but I would curb my appetite and have no dessert for the whole time just to get to the beignets. Because I know when I get to that, I've never been let down. And I will tell you something embarrassing. We don't go inside anymore. You know why? Because when we sit down and eat, we come out with our shirt full
Oh,
of white.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like wear a t-shirt that you don't care nothing else about, or wear you a bill because you're going to get the white sugar powder on you, right?
Hey, that's bound to happen.
Yeah. So I did mission trips, in Honduras with the church, and I never knew that I would like plantains until I went to Honduras, and they cooked it just right because we would eat the authentic food that was there. So there's a lot of other things there, like the tamales and the some of the stuff I can't pronounce, like the plato típico for breakfast, like you said, the pupusas, and all kinds of yucca with pork and all that. I don't.
Just yucca.
It's, girl, some kind of some kind of way they cook the food. But one thing I learned is just don't ask any questions. If everybody else is saying it's good and it's okay and it's safe and it's not some animal you wouldn't eat or whatever, just eat the
pray
food
on
and be
it.
happy. Because, well, no, what I learned is that they really do season up the food really good.
Yeah, like
And they don't try to trick you and tell you it's chicken and then it's really the raccoon or something. So
yeah. A lot of stuff can taste like chicken if you cook it like chicken. That's what I say.
I heard somebody say that about snake, because I know in the African culture we have a restaurant here that sells. I shouldn't say that probably because I don't know if it's legal. But anyway, there are places you can get a plate of snake cooked properly.
Or shark fins.
Yeah, and that's wrong. Now that I don't like. But who am I to judge, you know? I know when I was in Malaysia, I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock you and probably make you grossed out. But when I tell you that food danced in my mouth and had a whole house party up in there, I need you to understand. So when I was in Malaysia with my Napoleon Hill group, we had so many good foods. We had like the seafood and the blue rice. We had some this is what's finna trip you out. We had some deep fried shrimp. And I kept raving about what was the stuff they had drizzled on top of it. Because you know, you've been to like P.F. Chang where they do the shrimp with the honey on it and stuff.
Yeah, like the orange sauce.
That's what I thought. I had got some honey or something special. Girl, I said, I need to know who cooked this food. So I asked them if I could ask the chef. Now, this is how greedy I am. I want to take the recipe back to Texas. This is how greedy I am. I don't know why my mouth getting wet right now. But anyway.
Turn the other way.
I went...
Please.
I went and asked if I could ask the cook what was on there, because everybody else was like, don't ask, forget y'all, I'm taking this back to Texas. The man said, ma'am, he went to the refrigerator, he had put mayo on the shrimp that was fried so good. When I tell
Just mayo?
they
Mayo and
deep
what?
fried the shrimp, seasoned it up and everything, and then they took mayonnaise and just sprinkled it all over the shrimp before they served it to us. When I tell you,
I thought it was a sauce.
Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I have not tried that at home because when I think of it, it's disgusting to me. But they did that thing. He showed me exactly how he did it. He said, you just sprinkle it, put it on there. The deep fried warmness is gonna marinate it into it. And he was talking real fast because he was talking his language and trying to speak English to me. When I tell you it was good, I still talk about it today. And that was in 2012 or something. But it was so good with the mayonnaise. And they seasoned it just right. It wasn't too harsh. It was real good. Now, one time with my Mini Cooper car club, we went over to this awesome little Greek restaurant over on in the Montrose area. I think it's probably like 15 or 20 of us. We had a really good time. And how did I used to say that word? I used
Gyros.
to say, but what is it called?
Euros.
I just think that ain't true.
Euros.
Let
That's
us
how
know.
I've been told.
Let us know in the comments, how do you pronounce it? Because I pronounce it gyro or gyro.
Gyro, no. Euro.
So I had that and a Greek salad, and some of our other friends had some kind of Greek lasagna or something. And
Sounds good.
what I noticed about the lasagna is that it had some special kind of cheese that's on it. Like it had one kind of cheese that had like green little speckles. It almost looked like molded cheese, but it was a white cheese with some kind of, and I don't know if that was like cilantro or something infused in it or something. I'm not sure, but it was really good. And
Or
what we
parsley.
did,
You
what we
never
did
know.
is we got some appetizers and stuff, so we all kind of ate in on it and everything. It was really fun, but I don't see that word as euros. So it's going to forever be gyros to me, or gyro or whatever. But I am loving that we now have a gyro place in our area that we said we were going to go and try, because I do like the way they do. And one thing I found out is that they do sell the black bean meat, so I could get a gyro with the black bean and all the vegetables and stuff in it, and so I'll be happy. And then that way I don't have to eat something that maybe I don't want to eat. But man, I'm hungry now. What about you?
I could use a little snack.
I mean, yeah. So make sure you comment and share what we're talking about. My mouth's so wet I can't even swallow fast enough to get because I'm hungry now. I'm like, ooh, thinking about all these different kind of foods, and I love me some fried shrimp. And then start thinking about fish, and I start thinking about that Saison sauce that I've been looking for. I'm just hoping somebody gonna help me out.
What is it, like a mixed blend? Like, what's all in it?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's in a little it's
green?
in a little seasoning thing.
Is it green?
And it's called no.
Or
It
yellow?
looks almost like Tony Chachere's, but with a different mix of something in it. But he was saying that when you cube fry the salmon fish, that this was the best seasoning to put on it. Don't put anything but this on it because it gives you a certain flavor, and that it's particularly for seafood meals. So I was gonna try it on the tilapia. I mean, not tilapia, but on the salmon.
Like Old Bay.
And I was no.
Well, like Old Bay, I'm saying like all those purpose seasonings where you can do with seafood.
Right.
Like
so I'm gonna try it on the
Saison.
fish, and I'm gonna try it on the shrimp just to see. But I want to dip my finger in it and taste to see what flavor blend I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying
Must
to do.
be a hot item if you can't find it at all the stores.
I did go on online, and I found it online, but I was just like,
Where online?
I was just like, the devil is alive. You think I'm gonna put $3 on my credit card to buy a seasoning and then pay $3 for shipping when I can just hop in my car and go get it? So I even went on Google and typed in where to find Saison sauce, and then I put in my area, nothing. But I physically went into every store and I asked somebody in
Are
the
you
store.
putting sauce or seasonings?
I put seasoning, but
Oh.
I went into stores, and when I was like in the grocery store, I asked the manager, "Do you sell this sauce?" They go on their little thing and they can click it and look it up, and he said, "I never heard of that."
Wow.
At Walmart, they said they never had heard of it.
Wow.
And I looked at every single seasoning that they had that was name brand and off brand, because at this point I don't care. I even went into the Dollar Tree. They have seasoning, right?
Oh yeah.
I did
and
not
name brand stuff too.
Exactly,
yeah.
but I didn't see that one. So somebody told me to go to like the specialty stores, like the Indian stores, the Asian stores. I went into an Indian store. They didn't have it there. I went into a Mexican store, Fiesta. They didn't have it in their collection. So I'm gonna have
I'm
to.
surprised.
But the guy, what I was wanting him to tell me is, where was that seasoning from? Was that was that a Mexican culture? Was that an Asian culture? I needed to know, and then
Who'd you ask?
No. I
Oh.
sent him a DM. He didn't answer. But when you're not friends with a certain person, their DM goes into the junk thing. Like with mine, it goes into the junk thing. So, hey, we want you to definitely comment and share with us about some different foods and different flavors that you've tasted that have just like danced off of your tongue and just makes you excited every time you think about it. And then share with us maybe some like the prep uses that you have for different things that you cook with. I know a lot of people who like curry, and then I know people who don't like curry. I know people who like turmeric in their food and some that don't. I'm gonna tell you, when I get my salmon fish and I get it from Sprouts, I always get the one that's already seasoned with the turmeric and all that other stuff on it. I could do it at home, but I just like the way they blend it in. So I had somebody tell me they didn't even know people ate turmeric. They thought it was just used for like other stuff, but not eating. And I'm like, yeah, people season with it.
Yeah, I just found that actually a couple years ago too, though, because I'm always known for it to be like skincare stuff.
Right, or
But I
either
don't cook with turmeric, so
I've heard people say they drink it with water and stuff
Yeah,
because it's good, but
weight loss
they
stuff.
say they never heard it used for a seasoning. But guess what? We learn something every day, don't we?
yes, we do.
So give us a comment and share our podcast and our show with people that would be interested in different topics. But we don't just want to have the conversation with each other and let you listen in on it. We actually want to have the conversation with you. So make sure you put something in our comments and tell us what's your favorite food and what cultures you particularly like that's all over the world. And we just really want to know what that is. I think I need me some Tex-Mex right now, so I'm probably going to have to go do that. So, okay, we're going to cook something good now, and we want you to cook something good. Maybe show us some pictures of some good food that you've cooked, but share our show.
yes, turn your notifications on. Make sure you tell every woman you know to listen to our podcast. Like,
Absolutely.
subscribe for sure.
Subscribe. Get your friends to go over and subscribe. But we also want you to view it so that you can have these conversations with your mom and just go and ask and say, hey, tell me a little bit about your background culture and what kind of food y'all ate all the time, and a little bit about that, and then share with them, you know what, let's go try this kind of food together. I'm gonna tell you, it's really fun trying food together, huh?
Yeah.
It really is, because we get to kind of comment on what we think about it, and you're going to see a lot of our shows on Saturdays that we're going to be commenting about. So, bye for now.
Bye.
Do you want to start and run your own tax-exempt, nonprofit, fundable organization? Let me show you how. Let me show you how to start it, run it, and keep it funded. Have you ever wondered how over 91 US billion-dollar earning companies pay zero in taxes? I'm speaking of companies such as Amazon, FedEx, Starbucks, and Delta Airlines. Are you ready to do what fills you with joy? Would you like to be paid to make a big impact in the world? You've often heard the saying, be the difference you want to see in the world. Yes, that can be you. Don't hate the players, just learn the rules and master the game. Contact me today for your 15-minute complimentary consultation. Let me show you where the funding is and how you can receive it. My name is Miss Dawn. I live in Katy, Texas, and I've been a business development consultant since 1998. Give me a call so I can help you.